Alright, so I'm onto the clutch. First step of the day is take this, the old clutch off, and yeah, put the new one on. Alright, so the clutch is off. I had a little bit of trouble with one bolt. It's probably just a tiny bit rounded out, but I was using the ball end Allen key thing, so I just switched over to a square ended one, and yeah, it came straight out. The flywheel, yeah, I should probably have a bit of a better effort at cleaning that up. Where is it? Somewhere around here. I've got my, right here. Yeah, it's got a bit of blemishing on it. I don't know, I might just give it a quick scrub up with some wet and dry, and I'll grab my little square sponge block thing. Got one of these. Anyway. That'll do. Alright, well, I'll do that anyway. Alright, so I've given it a bit of a touch up. Probably doesn't look that great on camera, but it worked anyway. So I'm just going to basically re-grease that thrust bearing. That's a form of grease. And yeah, bolt the clutch on. Oh, here we go. Here's my grease. Alright, so I've got a little bit of a mystery going on here. I've taken the seal out, and the seal was actually, this lip on the main pressure seal was actually torn, but it was stuck down in there. I'll show you, I don't know if you can see. Down in there you can see you've got the, it's a bit hard to see, but yeah, basically down in there you've got the two ports, right? One's for the fluid to go somewhere when you put your foot on the clutch, and the other side is to bleed it. And it was almost like it had been sucked into one of those ports and was stuck in there. And now, like this, I'm going to look a bit ridiculous here, but this is the pressure side, not the bleed side. I can barely force air through that one, but the bleed side, clear as a whistle. Now, when this thing was in the car, one thing I did notice was you put your foot on the clutch and it would just take forever for the clutch pedal to come back up. And I thought, that's weird, you know, like, I mean, it's working against the springs of the, you know, the pressure plate on here, so that's got a lot of force on it. It should, why would it be so slow to come back up? But, or maybe it's ingested the seal, I don't know. But I have put compressed air through it. Look at these fittings here. They they don't look like the type of fitting you take off. So I have to put my thinking cap on, see what I can come up with here, because yeah, something's not right with this thing. Whether it's a defect in the casting, or whether it immediately, as soon as I got it in the car, it ingested the chunk of this seal. I'll keep going with blowing air through it, and maybe I'll have a breakthrough. We'll see. Alright, so it turns out in this fitting here, I don't know if you can see it, or if that's going to focus, you see there's a teeny tiny circlip there. Now I can get the circlip pliers on it, but it's like I can't get enough opening to slide the fitting out. So I've even tried like so, so I'm not even, so I've got the prong in one of the holes and on the inside of the other, and it's still, obviously I can't try now because I'm using one hand to hold the camera, but it's fighting me. Alright, give me a minute. There's the seal. And how? I don't even know how I've managed to do that. Flows a lot better now. Alright, I've got to put my thinking cap on because I don't even understand how that happened. Is it during the bleeding process? Because this wasn't the bleeding side, this is the supply side. So how is it it's managed to pull the seal back? Yeah, that's weird. Maybe I had it set up so that it was basically, it wasn't extending far enough. Maybe I needed to leave a bit more clearance there so it could push out further. I don't know. Has anyone ever heard of this happening before? Yeah, that must have been what it was. Basically, as you've let my foot off the clutch, it's pulled the piston back so far that it's pulled the seal into the hose. And that's damaged the seal, which has made it leak. And here I am, I'm thinking it's overextending, but it wasn't overextending. Or maybe it wasn't. Or maybe it... Alright. Well, I'm going to set this up when I put it back in with plenty of wriggle room so it can expand or extend well clear of the seal bottoming out in the port leading to the hose. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I just had Jaguar Joe come over and had a look, and we had a bit of a discussion about what's gone on with this clutch, and about the only thing we can sort of think of is that somehow the clearance wasn't set up right, so that when the bell housing was bolted to the motor, it's like pushed the seal hard up against the back of the clutch body. It's all we can sort of think of, like, which I'm pretty sure I didn't do, but here we are. So yeah, I'm gonna bolt it all back together now and double check that clearance, triple check that clearance. Alright, so another day in the shed. On to the next issue. This dust seal. I cannot for the life of me get this to push through there. It's yeah, incredibly tight. And then when you look, I don't know why I have so many problems with things, but if you look at the old seal, you can see the difference in the lip there. It's like the old seal, the lips, I don't know, been squashed, been pushed out. So maybe I just need to put more force on it and squeeze it through. But anyway, I'll work it out. Righto, so I've got the slave cylinder in there. I actually, if you look here, I actually re-drilled the hole. I had a hole there, but it just kind of kinked the hose a little bit, and I wasn't really happy with it. So yeah, I drilled another hole, and yes, it is going to clear the starter motor. But we'll see how we go. Now my clearance, the clearance from this to the tips of these fingers is about 3 mil, and I've double, triple checked it, measured it over and over, which is, they sort of say 125 thou an eighth of an inch, which is about 3.1 mil. I've got a bit more than that, probably, yeah, closer to 4. But this thing's got sort of, you know, 10, 15 mil of travel total. So, and as it wears, I believe these fingers will move that way. They'll tighten up the clearance a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. So yeah, now I'm gonna just connect this bad boy up to my hoist up there, and it's just gonna gently slide together. Wish me luck. Righto, so that didn't quite go to plan. As you can see, I've got it, it's past the first clutch plate, but yeah, it just doesn't want to go that second one, even though I use the clutch alignment tool. But what I did notice was over this side, I noticed this here, that was just sitting there, and it looks like a piece of the gasket goo, whatever. And then I went to tighten this bolt up, and it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was loose, but it was, you know, I got at least half a turn on it. So I say, since I've put the exhaust on with the gasket goo, the goo's kind of softened up or done whatever, it compressed a bit, and the bolts have backed off. So I figured, well, I'm gonna have to do those seals anyway. So now, since the back of the exhaust here, well, more over that side, is hitting the back of the gearbox and making this job harder, I figure, well, I might as well take the exhaust off now and kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I got the exhaust off on both sides. You can kind of see here, yeah, it's blown out there, and then at the back here it's blown out as well. So it's a bit annoying, you know, it's only got like 10 kilometers on it, 20 kilometers on it. This side's a little, well, it doesn't look like it's blown out here, but yeah. Oh, and the gearbox still isn't on yet. I've even put like a long bolt there just to act as like a dowel. But now I've got the exhaust off, I can wrestle with it and a bit more and see what I can come up with. Yeah, she's not going easy. All right, yeah, and as I was saying, yeah, I need to find a different brand of gasket sealant. Yeah, something a little more upmarket, a bit more durable. Alright, so here we are again. As you can see, not much progress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this all back out again. I'm going to take the bell housing off, and I'm going to bell housing in the clutch slave, and I'm just going to see if I can slide the shaft in by itself. And I think what I'll probably do is I'll just back off the bolts on the clutch plate itself, use my clutch alignment tool, just give it a bit of a wriggle and just see if I can get the gearbox without the bell housing just to slide in there. And I figure if I can do that without the bell housing on there, then I should be able to put the bell housing back on and make it go together. Alright, so that's pretty much in. If we look at the depth of this, that's about hold it still, yeah, about 155, and this is about 157, but see here, idiot, why didn't I think of that? That's not what was holding it out before, but that's going to have, if it's got clearance, it's going to only have the tiniest amount, and we don't actually need that to be as long. Yeah, that's, you know what I mean. The clutch is sitting about there, the slave cylinder's around about there, so we can trim a few mil off that, because that's going to be, yeah, right on. It's probably just going to be scraping. And I've got maybe, I don't know if this is normal or not, but you look there, there's a lot of play there. It's almost like the pilot bearing is the wrong size. So yeah, I don't know, pull it all apart again and investigate further. Righto, so looking at this, that's my clutch alignment tool. That's got a bit of play in it. But this here, oh, this is actually, so that's tight fit there, yeah, this is actually like a half a mil fatter, so yeah, I don't know how much, how tight are they meant to be. Pretty sure that should be fine. I might just ask my neighbour. Alright, so she's on. But yeah, it took a bit of wriggling around. Yeah, in a nutshell, I took the transmission off, took the bell housing and the clutch slave out, and basically used the gearbox input as an alignment tool to align the clutch, and just backed off all the bolts around the outside of the clutch, lined it, got it in there, tightened the bolts up, took the transmission out, put the bell housing and the clutch slave back in there, and she eventually, well, it wasn't too hard, wriggled back together. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this on camera because it's real tight. I get my torch, and I don't know if you can see in there, there's the clutch slave. So basically what I'm going to do is put my finger, in fact I don't think I'll be able to show you this, but just put my finger over one of those two hoses, put some air on there, and I'll see if I can get it to push out, just to verify that I do have some free space there. I mean, I've done all the sums, but I scrapped my air thing. I have done all the sums, but I would like to just verify that what I think is happening is actually happening. So all right, let's see if I can get the camera there. All right, here we go. I was actually watching that through the screen on the back of the GoPro. Yes, that's my 3 or 4 millimeters movement. So I know I'm clear of the well, I've got the free play there that I want. So what's next? Well, I'm going to go down the shop. So I'm actually going to look a bit around online, try and find the best exhaust gasket goo money can buy, and I'm going to go and get some of that and put these exhausts back on, and that'll be it. Probably yeah, get it onto the floor, get the engine hoist in here, rig it up on the hoist, and start thinking about dropping it back in the car. Alright, so things have I've made a bit of progress here. Yeah, she's just about ready to start. Yeah, it all went in fairly easy. I have not bled the clutch yet. I'm just going to fire up the old laptop, plug it into the ECU, and just see that everything's sort of in the ballpark. I'm expecting, you know, both throttle position sensors. I've got both of them connected up. See how I go with that. Hoping that both of them will, yeah, will be in the ballpark, and yeah, go from there. See what happens. Alright, so I'm putting my gearbox oil in. This is my setup here. Because I find it almost impossible to get to the fill point there, I put it in where the old speedo, the old mechanical speedo is. And I don't know if you can see, but my little pump's just starting to let the smoke out. Nearly there. Just been giving it sort of 10-minute breaks, and yeah. Oh, she's starting to let the smoke out again. Not long to go. Alright, that's going to be done in a minute. Alright, so basically if you look through there, I've set both my throttle position sensors at about the same, at 15%, which is about right. And I'm just maneuvering around this junk pile. Basically I'm going to start it up, and this thing's not getting any easier to get in and out of. Alright, will it go? Alright, well, she's running. Turn the idle speed up a bit, and as you can see, Well, you get the point. But it's really quiet now. Of course, that wasn't really why it keep a fishing gear here. Wasn't really why it came off the road in the first place. That was the clutch. So I did put some fluid in it. I haven't touched the pedal. No catastrophic leaks, nothing on fire. It does sound raspy when you get on it. There's still some coolant in there. Probably top that up. But yeah, alright, so what I'm going to do now, well, Jaguar Joe's not around and I've pretty much ready to do the school run. So I'm just going to open the bleed on the clutch, top up the master cylinder, and yeah, see what happens. I'll probably just leave it be and yeah. Righto, so this is going to be the last take of this video. I'm off to work this afternoon, so I'll just sort of let you know where I'm at. I have not bled the clutch yet. I was kind of more focused on making sure everything else is right, getting everything together. I'm fairly confident there shouldn't be a problem with the clutch, but yeah, I didn't want to sort of rush it at the last minute. Yeah. Yeah, so next step when I come back, bleed the clutch, start it up and put all my little spaces underneath the clutch pedal so I've got minimal travel, and find out if that's enough travel to actually engage gears, and then just slowly remove spaces until I get to the point where I can disengage the gearbox with the clutch plus a little bit more. And yeah, that'll be that. Hopefully, yeah, then I can start putting everything back together. One problem I do have is the bonnet. It's never fit really well, and I put these fancy bonnet mounts on it, which does make things easier, but it's still, yeah, it because this car was in a collision at the front. As they've repaired it, I don't think they've just got the bonnet on. It doesn't, it rubs, like you can see you can see here where it's rubbed, and yeah, here someone's put a bit of tape there because it just sort of binds. It really needs a bit of sanding, and of course as soon as you sand it, well, your paint's gone, so then you need to start thinking about repainting, and I'm not sure I'll be able to match this paint. So yeah, there's a whole other can of worms. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.